What you're about to see is highlights from the production of this thing.
I'm in lovely Omaha, Nebraska right now. What did we do this week besides kill it, Ryan? Kill it? We spent yesterday all day with the amazing, incomparable, and magnificent Pat Friman.
Hey friends, I'm excited to share some insight into this big project that I've been hinting about on social media with Pat Friman. You see, after the first video that we did titled, I Didn't Know Her Circumstances, Pat said, and I quote, I have gotten a lot of positive feedback about it, more than I've ever gotten for anything I've done on the internet before. That's insane. And I asked him briefly if he'd be open to something more in depth without a clear idea of what it would be, and he agreed to explore some ideas and see what was possible. Now fast forward to this summer, and Sarah Trotman and I were discussing what opportunities there were to potentially collaborate together, her and I. If you don't know her, she is a powerhouse of a BCBA. Now, we ended up agreeing on splitting the costs of a much larger production.
We are calling this project
On Location!
What are the goals of it?
The goals of On Location is for us to give Pat a stage and the opportunity to talk about what's most important to him in behavior analysis, to talk about some of the best work that he's created, to talk about research, to talk about where we need to go as a field, and mostly to share his love for what we do.
And so if you're wondering what this is going to be, there's really two parts, a full-on documentary piece. That's right, behavior analysis gets a documentary piece, something we haven't seen in decades. And you're gonna get content for continuing education. We're working on setting this up for BCBA and APA. It's gonna be really exciting and hopefully reach a ton of different people.
How much work and labor has been put into this so far?
This has been a labor of love that's been going on for over 4 months. When you and I first discussed this, I think it was summertime, and we had this like crazy idea that maybe we could get this guy to, be willing to come on camera with us and, be raw and unfiltered and share everything he has that he wants to talk about. So I don't know, number of cumulative hours, hundreds. Number of hours left to go, hundreds.
I wanted to see the magic that is Boys Town.
What did you think of today? Like, what did you walk away with, I guess, after the couple hours of watching the front of the room?
It was awesome. It was great to see all of the empathy in the room and to see people learning how to speak in front of their peers and do it in a way that tells a story, in a way that they do it with passion, and to see each other supporting one another was pretty remarkable.
Why did I say yes to the Pat Project?
Yeah.
I said yes to the Pat Project because I came to Boys Town last August, and I was surprised by the type of amazing emotional and professional experience it was. And I thought to myself, if there was some way that I could package this and share this with everybody else as a love letter to behavior analysis to remind us of who we are in our humanity, then I wanted to do that.
Oh, there's a fun premiere release plan with this.
There is a fun premiere release plan. Pat Friman is the opening keynote speaker of the BALC conference, which is going to be in Boston, April 23rd, 24th, and 25th of next year. So what we are going to do with this project is everyone at the BALC conference is going to start out this conference listening to Pat and his amazing message about unification in the world of behavior analysis. And then people have the opportunity to watch a film that Ryan and Jarek and I have put together, which is the whole point of why we've been coming out to Omaha for the last 2 months.
So if you're not going to that event, don't worry, I'm gonna host this online. It's gonna be available there as well. Now, this is a separate thing from the Daily BA. I'm using this platform to kind of get it going, but this is something that Sarah and I have both partnered on together to put out there. And so for the next roughly 8 weeks, what you're gonna get is a weekly podcast and a weekly video that's just kind of updating, teasing as to what's going on. And the very first one, this Thursday, I am so excited for, is the formal trailer for the documentary piece. That's right, behavior analysis has a documentary. It's January 7th. Yesterday was the first full day of trying to figure out how to edit, and I think the way to summarize it is the hardest part of editing a documentary is not knowing how to even edit a documentary.
Yeah, pretty much.
So let's talk about like the process. So there's 1.3 terabytes of footage, which is recorded over 5 days. Mm-hmm. There's always 3 or 4 angles for the most part for everything. And so it's just a complete mess of footage, right?
Yeah, there's just a lot of things to go through.
So what have we developed so far? Do you want to describe the process, like how we're trying to go about it? It's kind of like a divide and conquer.
Yeah, so I guess what I've been doing so far, in day one, I'm trying to cut bits and pieces for like what kind of storyline we're trying to go for that would make sense for the overall documentary. And
I think one of the challenges here is like behavior analysis, we know can get full of jargons and terms and all these technical fields. So the goal is, how do we get it to where anybody potentially could watch this and gain something from it and not get lost?
yeah, and that's where I come in because
Yes.
I don't understand any of that jargon.
Yeah, so edit.
Yeah.
So Jarek's background in filmmaking and editing actually really helps here. So it's like, here's the files, here's what we think will probably work. Like I've got that kind of tucked away on a notes document, and we're getting feedback from a few different behavior analysts in the project. But it's kind of like you go through and pick the things that you think is going to be the most relatable.
Yeah.
And we'll see. That's kind of the goal of how this is developing. I guess that's a process of how this is developing, what we're shaping up. I think we did good on the first day.
Yeah, I think so.
So I would like to make an appeal to the Patreons of the Daily BA. This project wouldn't happen without Ryan's vision and assistance and creative spirit, heart, and technical expertise. And so I would like to appeal to you guys to make sure that you're still supporting this guy. He's amazing. He's not paying me to say this. This is something that I feel from the heart, and I can't encourage you enough to continue to back his work, because this is the shit that needs to be out here in behavior analysis. So if you're supporting him now, give him some more money. If you know someone that you think is going to support them, share this with them, because Ryan is a visionary, and I'm so happy that I get to collaborate with him.
Oh, now we gotta hug it out.
Oh!
All right, thank you.